Hello everyone, welcome to the 101% podcast where we talk about mindset, motivation, discipline, how to always push yourself, how to become a beast and how to defeat struggle. This podcast will help you to get a better life, that's 101% for sure. I'm your host Joachim and together with me is the co-host and my sister Annika. Welcome to this podcast.
Maiken Aannerud is a professional fighter in MMA, kickboxing and Muay Thai. She has traveled the world the last decade to study martial arts at its core, and she fights wherever she can. She has an electric vibe and a positivity that uplifts everyone she meets, and she has impacted me a lot. It is an honor inviting Maiken as her guest and to get to know her even better. Thank you for tuning in. Let's discover more of Maiken's story, mindset, passion, purpose, and how this fire inside of her that warms everyone around her was lit and how it keeps burning so bright today.
Yeah, Maiken, I also would like to welcome you so much to our podcast. I'm very happy you would like to be our guest.
Thank you. What an intro. Thank you so much.
So I don't know how I came across your profile. I think it was from the Explore on Instagram many years ago that you just came up, and then I looked at your profile and I thought, wow, what a girl and what a life. This is so cool. And then I actually went to Bali just for a vacation and of course had to check out the gym that you were training at then at Suma Fight Club.
Yes.
And then our paths crossed coincidentally at the first time. And then later on we met in Thailand and gotten to know each other better. And to see that you were living this life and just going for your dreams started my desire to just go for it and quit my job and go to Thailand. And that's how it all started. So a big thanks and a shout out to you.
Well, thank you. That's very inspiring to hear for me, you know. Yeah, incredible. Thank you so much.
But you live a very extraordinary life for almost a decade now, for 9 years. I think it started with you just going on a vacation to Thailand, to Phuket, just to train Muay Thai.
Yes, that's correct. So it all started in January 2016, actually. First week of January 2016. I had decided about 6 months before that I was going to travel to Thailand. I was going to stay there for 3 months, learn Muay Thai. My background is kickboxing from Norway, so I was like, Muay Thai is cool, you know. I want to go to Thailand and learn it. So my plan was to stay in Thailand for 3 months, and then after about a month and a half, I just knew that I had to stay for longer, and I just knew that I had to take it a bit further than my original plan was. So I decided to take it from being my hobby to actually being, you know, more of a career. So I had my first professional fight in March 2016. I think it was actually 15th of March 2016, and you know, ended up staying in Thailand for 3.5 years, I think 3.5, 4 years. And then, you know, I traveled, been around the world since then, back in Thailand recently. It's been a journey.
It's been quite a journey, and it started a bit as a coincidence. You were just there for a little while, but then you just noticed that this is the life I desire and want to live. And then you just do the things you have to do, quit your jobs, get your things settled. And you have basically lived abroad in Thailand and Bali and the USA ever since.
Yeah. So I went back home to Norway when COVID happened. So that was the longest I stayed in Norway. I stayed there for, I think it was a year and 3 months. So, but aside from that, I just been back and forth to Norway every now and then just working, seeing my family, and then I traveled out the country again to either go to Thailand, Bali. I had a year in America, Miami. Then I went back to Thailand, and now I'm back in Bali. So, yeah.
But why are you out in the big wide world, would I say? Like, you were in Norway for a year and then you felt that, no, I cannot go back and settle with what I was used to. I have to go back out there. Of course, it's a lot more fighting opportunities, but what is making you live this life?
Oh, yeah, it's a good question, because you know, it's not an easy life. It's definitely not an easy life. It's a life that's giving me a lot, you know. There's a very strong fire burning inside of me when it comes to fighting and the martial arts and the culture and, you know, the community of the sport. And I just see myself as a student. Like, I'm a forever student as well. There's always something to learn, and I met so many cool people, like all over the world, like the places I've been. And also I've been to a lot of places where people from everywhere come to learn. So, you know, why I chose this life instead of staying in Norway. I like being challenged, I think, and I like doing things a bit differently. Like, I lived a life back home in Norway where I was working as a hairdresser. I would say I was like pretty good, like successful hairdresser. I had a lot of opportunities as a hairdresser and makeup artist. I did a lot of like really cool jobs um, in in that career, and for sure I could, you know, keep doing that and settle, and it's also something I love, but fighting has just become such a big and important part of me, and it just felt so wrong to give up on that and just, you know, ignore that little voice in my head and the strong feeling I have, just for the safety of staying in my home country and, you know, going down, like choosing the safe path. You know what I mean? Because of course, it's more comfortable. It would be way more comfortable to be back home and have a safe job, safe, you know, stable income, all of that. I kind of said no to that for many years, you know. So it definitely hasn't been easy, but you know, I really, really don't regret it. I have so many, you know, adventures behind me. Like, yeah, no, definitely the best choice I've ever made.
I definitely believe you. And I think that the opportunity to go back home is always there. The way back home is always short in a way. Wherever you are in the world, you can always come back home and work and do all that stuff. But to live out there, it's a very brave move because you make things work. You find your solutions to live that life that you want. And then, as well as going for your ambitions in the fighting career, you also, it's very rewarding living out in the world, connecting with great people, great minds, learning from some of the best. I know that you've been training a lot at Bangtao, MMA Masters, Suma Fight Club. Like, it's really high level of fight enthusiasts and coaches.
100%. 100%. Like, I met so many cool people. So many high level fighters, coaches, and you know, what I say, if I teach someone something, I always tell them, if I teach them, let's say 10 different things, not all of those 10 things might be good for the person I'm teaching, you know, but maybe 2 out of those 10 things would suit that student well, you know, and that student style. That's what I'm thinking when people are teaching me. I'm like, oh, you know, everything this person knows and teaching me might not suit me, might not be my style, but I can pick and choose and, you know, put it all together. Maybe I'll take 2 techniques from this coach and then 1 from that one, 3 from that one, and I make and create my own style, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been very inspiring, like meeting all these people and learning from them for sure.
I think it's very, very cool to hear about your lifestyle. Yeah, you break off of the norm, and most people work 8 to 4, have job, have mortgage, and are trapped inside the hamster wheel, as we call it. And you
Yeah.
just break out, be your own boss, live, travel around the world, meet a lot of exciting people and character, and fight for a living. So I think it's a very cool and interesting lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I also think, you know, a lot of people these days, they're very obsessed with owning a lot of things. You know, you need things and more things and, you know, save your money to buy things. But I never cared about that. Like, I always cared about traveling, experience things, meeting people, cultures, and, you know, exploring and learning, you know. That's been more my focus. So, you know, all of my friends, they have nice houses and cars, and, you know, it's super nice. Whenever I go to my friends in Norway, I'm like, whoa, you have all this. Like, I don't have any of that. Maybe one day. I would like it one day, but, you know, not right now. It just hasn't been a priority.
Right, and maybe it's just not the time for it. And I think that for some people, that is the desire. Maybe they are super happy and feel that they have achieved so many things, and that is right for them. But now it sounds like you're doing the exactly right thing, and you're taking responsibility for your career. You are studying different styles to evolve your style. And sometimes people feel very secure and comfortable in that system where you take your education, you start working, you buy a house, you buy a car, you have these mortgages and all of these things. But I think that sometimes we need to question the system and just ask ourselves, the little voice we have inside, what do I need to be happy? And you just go chase that voice. So I'm very happy to hear that.
Yeah. You know, that's the thing. Like, it's all about being happy. Like, whatever you do what makes you happy. If you are happy in your job, that's the best, you know? Like, as long as you're happy. If you're happy in your country, if you're happy in your situation, like, that's all that matters. Yeah.
Definitely.
So,
how do you feel now about your situation? Do you feel happy and satisfied about how things are around you, where you are in life, where you're going?
yeah, at the moment I feel very I'm happy, but I'm also very excited and what's the word? Eager? Can you use that word?
Yeah.
To get to the next level in my fight career, because it's been a long journey, and I think a lot of people can, you know, recognize this, whether it comes to fighting or like anything else in life. Sometimes you picture that something is going to take a certain amount of time before you achieved it, and in your head it's most of the time like a lot shorter. The time frame is a lot shorter than what it actually takes. So like in my head when I started this, at this point in my career, like I would be a UFC champion today, you know, but I'm not there. I'm not there yet. So I'm hoping I'll get way more fights from now on. It's, to be honest with you, it's been a roller coaster the past, well, ever since I started training MMA, to be fair, because I had so many pullouts, so many fights I was meant to do, but my opponents pulled out for different reasons. So at one point I was like, oh, is the universe trying to tell me something? Like, should I be doing something else? Is this not right for me? Should I, because it was just ridiculous with all these pullouts and bumps in the road. But I just knew that I had to push, and I knew that I had to fight. I knew that I had to fight MMA, which was my goal. So after many years of trying to get my pro MMA debut, I had my debut a week and a half ago here in Bali. So that was a magic experience.
Congratulations with your win.
Thank you. It was
Congratulations. That was so awesome. All those years were just taken out in 2 minutes with then you destroyed your opponent and you took all that energy out that you had been gathering for so many years.
Yeah. Like before that fight, it was almost weird because I felt so calm. And normally, I feel very nervous. I've only had one fight where I felt like super calm, like this one, and that was before the Bare-Knuckle MMA fight I did. Strangely, but yeah, it was. So yeah, I just felt so calm because I think I'd been in that fight so many times already in my head every single day. So when I entered the cage, I remember walking up there and putting my hands on like the door frame, if you can call it that. And I just stood there for a few seconds, just took a big deep breath, and I was like, oh, now I'm here. Finally, we're doing this.
And so, that feeling. Yeah. And what's very funny about that is that the two biggest achievements that you've had in your career, or the biggest fights, has been the pro debut in MMA now and the bare-knuckle fight, the way I see it.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe like the biggest or the most important in a way, or like, and then you are most calm because when it counts the most, you trust your abilities. You know that you have done it 100 times in your visualization, and you were so ready. You won both of those fights.
What has been the best win? Was those one of those best win you ever have?
Yeah, I would maybe say, depends how you look at it. If you look at it as the fight itself, or how I feel about it, like on a personal level, because sometimes you have fights that you lose, but you're happy with the fight, and sometimes you have fights you win and you're really not happy with that fight and the win. It could have been a loss to you personally, but I think it would be those two fights. If I had to pick like my best wins, or like the most important ones to me personally, it would be the bare-knuckle fight and my pro MMA debut, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's good.
Yeah. So
I was it was on the Sunday now. Yeah, I was inside and looked some Muay Thai fights of you, and also the bare-knuckle. Yeah, and I see that you have a very good pace, and you're very aggressive fighter. You go front all the time, and I really like that. Yeah, that's a very exciting to see fights like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I always say that the person I am in the ring or the cage, or the person I am outside, like now, are two very different people.
Yeah, so, you make a switch.
Yeah, so it's like my alter ego in there, and yeah, my evil twin sister, if you can call it that. But yeah, so I am pretty aggressive in the fight, but it's also something I worked on because before, when I stepped into the ring, because I had fought in a cage before, like less than 2 weeks ago, I used to not think too much, and I used to just, throw kicks and punches, and sometimes I even lost my head, and I just like it was just chaos in the ring and in my head, and like the fight was just, not pretty. So that's something I worked on a lot, especially mentally, also technically, but it was more in my head than anything. So, like this fight, I was just very calm, picked my shots, and I was more the fighter I want to be.
Okay.
So, yeah, I feel like I'm kind of, shaping my style at the
Well,
moment, and
great.
I'm more
Great to hear.
happy with my style now than in previous fights.
Very
It's
good to
coming
hear. Yeah.
together.
Good work. Yeah, to come to that place.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you. It's coming together. Still always work to do, but
Yeah.
next one will be even better.
Oh, yeah. Always improve a little bit.
Mm,
Yeah. That's
yes.
good. So this Sunday I sit look do a lot of research on you on the internet and see
Mhm.
some fight of you. And this was in the morning at this Sunday, and I told myself I gonna go exercise later at that day. Yeah? And I see your bare-knuckle fight. Yeah. And I get so
Yeah.
pumped up. Yeah. So after I finish see this one, I turn off the computer, went down and run.
Oh,
It
that's awesome.
yeah, I was
I
very
love to
pumped
hear
up.
that.
Yeah, very good fight.
Oh, so yeah, that's up until this day, that's actually my favorite fight. Like
Yeah.
it's weird because, no gloves. There was one round, 10 minutes. It was in this like bar environment. It looks like if you watch the video, it looks uh like a set, like a film set, kind of like a movie, which was kind of cool. Um, cool to experience that. But yeah, that's my favorite fight. Also because of everything I overcame before the fight, because I started earlier that year. I had a couple bad fights. I won the fights, but as I said before, I had like it was a bit chaotic, and like I wasn't happy with the fights, and it was chaos in my head, chaos in the ring. I just wasn't happy with the fighter I was at the time, so I started doubting myself, and I started thinking, oh, am I good enough? Should I do this? Should I, am I meant for something else? Maybe should I? I had all these thoughts. Um, so then I started working with on myself, and I took this bare knuckle fight. I think it was on 10 days notice or something, and something just happened in my head, and I was like, okay, game on, let's go. And I just gained so much confidence, and I felt so calm, and in that fight I was like, I am meant to do this. No doubt anymore. I'm so happy I took that fight. Like I had two almost broken ankles. That's why I'm not kicking so much in the fight, by the way. I broke my hand in the fight, so that's one of the reasons I was clinching and using my elbows a lot. Also, because my coach told me to do that because we knew she was a kickboxer, and I know Muay Thai as well. So, and I like elbowing. So,
Cool. Yeah, it was very great
yeah,
pace. Yeah, and you went very hard for 10 minutes or something. Yeah,
it was 10 minutes. Yeah,
10 minutes. Yeah. So,
so
cool.
it was intense. It was, yeah. No, I'm very happy I did that fight. It was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Good to hear. How is it if you compare bare knuckle MMA to ordinary MMA? What you feel is the different?
Um, Difference. Well, MMA gloves are quite small anyway, so it's easier to get cut without gloves, and it's easier to break your hands.
Okay.
So, which I experienced in the bare-knuckle fight. So, for me, that's about it. Some like, because you're still going to get punched in the face. Yeah.
This has been quite a journey, both with improving all of your techniques. You're competing in several sports and putting it all together to go pro in MMA. But it has also been quite a journey for the mentality. And how have you overcome those obstacles? I know that you were working with Luke Howard, if I'm not wrong, before this fight, the bare-knuckle fight. And
Before
I think
the bare-knuckle fight, yeah.
Right. And I think you mentioned on a post that he helped you a lot with just gaining that faith in yourself again, being confident and knowing that you have the ability to fight. But also now you tell about the mental switch that you find before entering the cage. How do you prepare for that?
Yeah, so when I started working with Luke, I had for a long time, like I always train hard, and I always, for me, it's a routine as well. I never wake up one day and think, maybe I shouldn't train today. I just do it out of habit, like you go to work, right? So I had been, doing my training as I normally do, and I felt like I just couldn't figure it out anymore, and like whatever I did, I felt like I wasn't improving. So I started working with Luke in the mornings, basically before anyone came to the gym, very early, before all the classes and everything. So I started working with him a few times a week, and he just helped me so much with my technique, first of all, but also gaining confidence in myself, giving me all these like little cues, and also, telling me where I'm good and what I could improve. He just really helped me a lot before that fight. So I'm very grateful for that. So
That is
that's something
awesome. And how do you work now before your preparation? You said that you felt very calm and that you have this kind of personality switch or like mindset switch.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for that the days leading up to the fight outside of the mats?
Yeah, so there's like a little switch happens about the weeks leading up to the fight, but like the closer we get to the fight, I turn pretty cold, to be honest. I don't socialize with anyone. I do my training. Obviously, I'm cutting weight as well, and I spend a lot of time with myself. And fight week, I'm pretty much like my poor boyfriend. He's used to it now, but like for my first fight, I warned him. I was like, I'm so sorry, but you're gonna see a different side of me, and I'll be back after the fight. I'm sorry. So yeah, I just have to, I just have to kind of turn into this other person that I'm normally not, like if you can create someone, let's say you are scared of doing something, but you can create a person that are strong, that are not scared, that can do all the things that you wish that you dared to do. Like I think like that. I've created that person, and in fight week, I'm slowly stepping into that person. You know what I mean? So I'm slowly disappearing, but I'm stepping into Magic Maiken. No, I'm not Maiken anymore. I'm Magic Maiken.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it's awesome, and I can really relate to what you're saying, because I think that fighting is so brutal, and to be able to step into the cage, we need to kind of find that rawness in us. inside of us, that kind of ability to hurt someone. You want them to be knocked out, you want them to be hurt. And when you walk out on the street, of course, you don't think like that, you know. And as I said in the introduction, you're extremely warm, you're so easy to connect with and so friendly. And all of these characteristics, you can still be a fighter, but you kind of have to tune them down, at least when you enter the cage. And we all need different things. Someone need to go all into this days before, or like, but I'm so glad you have found your way. It seems like you're doing the exactly right thing, and then you go in as Magic Maiken and perform magic, and then you have great results in the ring and in the octagon.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a process to figure everything out and what works for me. So like in the beginning, when I started fighting, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just, you know, I just stepped in there and punched and kicked, and I didn't think too much about it. But now I do, and I have my way of doing it, and I'm improving it. So I think it's just gonna get better and better, you know. So, and I'm also, even if I'm you know, very switched on and aggressive, and I'm this other person in the ring or cage, I'm still, you know, smiling, and I'm having fun, and I'm dancing, but in a different way. Like if you look at pictures and videos of me fighting, I look insane. Like my face is, I look psycho. I remember the first fight my boyfriend watched. He was there in the crowd, and I had my back to the crowd in the corner of the ring. And he said, when I turned around and I faced my opponent, he looked at my face and he was like, I did not recognize you. Like, that was not your face. I'd never seen that face before. Yeah, okay, yeah, I was switched on.
Who's that girl?
Yeah.
And I think it's so awesome. It's so raw, because when you enter the ring, you're smiling like you are completely in charge of what's going to do. You're not just entering, visiting as a guest. It is your ring. Everything you do, you have control over, and it's such a joy to watch.
Yeah, like this last fight, the MMA fight. My boyfriend Dean was there with some of his friends, and apparently one of his friends asked him, why is her face like that? Is it her mouth guard? Is that why? Or is she actually smiling? And Dean was like, oh yeah, she's laughing. She's just having a good time. She's smiling. So yeah, no, because I am happy to be there, you know. And that's a way of me being focused as well.
But how have you worked with this throughout your career? I think you've had 30 fights now. Is that right?
Yes, it must be around 30, like with all the amateur fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it started with amateur kickboxing in Norway, if I'm right, but then you have had kind of a very exciting journey from that. And then I heard the podcast you were in. It was in Norwegian when you were with Bare-Knuckle about MMA.
Yeah.
And if I'm not wrong, you said that you were going to have your pro debut in MMA in 2019, in December.
Yes.
So that is actually 5 years ago.
I know. Yeah, no, it's been, what I'm telling you, it's been a bumpy and long road. It's been a long road. So I was meant to have my pro MMA debut in Australia in December in 2019. So, but it got cancelled. That was the first one that got cancelled. And then COVID hit just like shortly after that, 3 months. No, yeah, 3 months after that.
Yeah.
So I was meant to fight, but everything shut down for a while because of that. yeah, every fight since then, honestly, I lost count. I've been meaning to have many pro MMA debuts since then, both in Indonesia. I had the opportunity to go to America, Miami. So that was kind of, the biggest step, one of the biggest steps in my whole fight career, because I thought, okay, I'm going to America. There's loads of promotions, loads of girls in my weight division. I'm gonna definitely have my pro MMA debut now. So I ended up staying there for a year, in and out, a little bit in and out of the country. And I had three fights cancelled, almost the fourth one, but the fourth one wasn't confirmed. And they all, like, the girls pulled out. So yeah, I also broke some bones and torn some ligaments and stuff while I was there. So there was some like periods where I couldn't fight, but I was still training, and whenever there was a fight and I could take it, when I could walk and move, I took it. But yeah, my opponents pulled out for different reasons. So.
They were dodging a bullet there. I think they pulled out for the good reasons.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I didn't take easy fights either, because I've always said I don't want the easy fights. In the beginning of your MMA career, like I am now, like my pro MMA career, I said I don't want easy fights, but it would be nice to start with like somewhat fair fights, because it wouldn't be a fair fight if me was set up against, let's say, someone that's a 10-0, 10 MMA pro wins, black belt in jiu-jitsu, up the next step is UFC, or maybe, So I said no easy fights, but for the first couple of fights, it's good if it's a fair fight. So the fights I took in America was actually like hard fights. Like one of my opponents that I was meant to fight, they showed me a picture of her, and she had like all these belts, one here, one there, one there. Like she was a champ in 2 different organizations in America, in MMA. And I said yes to that fight. Like, yeah, let's go. I just want to fight. But she pulled out. So, so I don't know.
So, Maiken, what are your small and big goals for your future MMA career?
For my short-term goals for now, this year I would like to fight MMA or some like bigger fights, at least three times. Preferably 4. I fought once already. So that would be cool. I'm hoping I'm fighting again in April. Might have something in April. Long-term goals, the bigger, what, as probably most fighters, they always say, "Oh, UFC, I'm going to be UFC champion." I always said that as well. I always said that because that was the main goal. That was the biggest goal. But also changed my mindset a little bit when it comes to that one. At the moment, I just wanna do some cool shit, to be honest. I just wanna do some cool shit. I wanna have some fun. I wanna have some big fights. I wanna make money out of this. I wanna make an impact. I wanna try to get MMA legalized in Norway. I wanna fight in Norway. I wanna inspire people. That's my goals. UFC would be awesome. It would be amazing. Definitely. But you know, there's a lot of cool things you can do in fighting if you're open to it.
Yeah, great goals.
Mm.
Yeah, short time and long time
Mm.
goals, and
Mm.
absolutely have been cool. Yeah, if MMA have been legalized in Norway, how do you think
Mm.
it's long to go before it can be, or is it?
Well, I don't know. It's a hard one because pro boxing is legal. I think it got legalized in, when was that? Like
16,
2014?
I think, or
Yeah, 20, was it 2016 or I thought it was 2014. I don't remember,
maybe.
but around there,
Hmm.
yeah. And that was because of Rakus,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Because we have one of the best female boxers in the world. So that was super cool. Um, but yeah, I think I don't know. It's a hard one because we're allowed to do jiu-jitsu tournaments and we're allowed to do pro boxing. Um, but apparently we're not allowed to do MMA because of the punches to the head, which can cause a knockout, and we're not allowed to uh, do MMA because of the chokes, which is also in jiu-jitsu, the jiu-jitsu tournament. So it doesn't make sense because you
Yeah,
already have two sports.
Yeah. So it is the
So
combination that is illegal in Norway. The politicians have voted for it, but they say, no, we will not legalize it because when you choke someone and strike them to the head, we don't
yeah,
have enough research. And if
yeah,
anyone has seen some minutes of MMA, we know that this argument is very
yeah,
poorly. And I think we just need to talk about it. We need to use all the arenas we have to talk about the legalization of MMA in Norway. It is so important. And we
yeah,
need to just spread the word and inspire our politicians to make it a case, because it seems like no one just wants to touch the topic, and we need to push it on them because this has to be done. We have so many great fighters that we want to see fighting at home, and it is tough being a fighter in Norway. You have to take a lot out of your pocket to go abroad and fight, and it makes it tougher. So for sure, this is an
mm,
important focus.
100%. And it's very hard to get sponsors. It's very hard to get support doing what we
Mm-hmm.
do. We're not a lot of Norwegian fighters, but like we're a few, and
Mm-hmm.
it's only going to get more. You know, a lot of people are looking into starting MMA, and you know, we already have like some fighters doing big things, like Cecilia Bolander, Jon Vetle. You know, we have some really good fighters, you know.
Yeah.
So, but we don't really get the attention in the media. So, you know, people just want to watch skiing and football, I think,
Yeah.
which is,
And
you know, boring. Like everyone I meet around the world, when I tell them that MMA is not legal in Norway, everyone's like, "What? Aren't you
yeah.
guys Vikings?" You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Norway and North Korea. I think it's
Yeah.
illegal.
It is extremely embarrassing. I feel ashamed to tell people when I travel around the world and fight,
Mm,
and we have seen so many great names retire, and now we're over to the kind of next generation of fighters, and I
mm,
would hate to see them retired as well. So now we really need to push this matter forward.
100%,
But I was
100%.
just
Just
wondering, can you tell us a little bit more about why the ambitions changed from the UFC and the belts and the big arenas? Why did it
mm,
change, and what do you fight for now?
yeah. So I think, um, obviously, like UFC is not off the
Mm-hmm.
the chart, if you can say that. Like I still would love to go to the UFC. It's still like there. Um, but what changed in me, I think, one of the things is just the realization of life. Like I'm 32. I'm turning 33 next week. One day I would like to have a family. As the woman in the relationship, I am the one that's going to be pregnant and all of these things. So so it's kind of up to me when that will be. I mean, I love fighting with all my heart, but I don't want to fight when I'm 45. Like, I would like to go all in now, like, and I mean all in, not just, I would like to fight as much as possible now, and then whenever I decide to retire, I want to focus on family. I want to focus on like the new life that comes after fighting. I don't want to combine the two, to be honest. Whenever I have kids, of course, like I'm never going to stop training. Like my kids are going to grow up in the gym and I'll probably be teaching and stuff like that. But I don't want to mix the two. I don't want to fight, have a baby, and then keep fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I was 20 or, and that happened, if I was 20 and I was a champ in a promotion, I got pregnant, had the baby, then I could go back to it kind of. But the reality is I don't have time to do that because I'm not where I want to be in my fight career, and I don't have time to be pregnant, have the baby, take care of the baby, and then work my way up in fighting. So that's why I'm going all in now, and then later family life and all of that will come. But yeah, for now, like we said before, like happiness is the most important thing. And for a long time when I started, doubting myself and my ability to fight and these things, I kind of forgot why I fight. I fight because I love it. So, I'm happy when I'm fighting. So like if I can do something fun, inspire people, have some cool fights, around the world, that makes me happy. So yeah.
I think that's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about what has fighting meant for you from all of these years? I think you have been training for close to 20 years now, that you started when you were 12.
Yeah. So
And
I started. Sorry. Say again.
No, sorry. I was just wondering, how has it impacted you? What has it meant for you? And how has fighting changed you as a person?
Yeah. In so many ways.
Yeah.
So many ways. I think like meeting all the people, especially that I met. I met so many people from different countries and cultures, and you just learn so much about human beings. Like that's been one of the biggest things. I know that's not fighting itself, but it's still a big part of it. Like I learned so much about life, culture, also myself.
Like, how has fighting impacted you on the personal level, and do you feel like you have needed it?
Yes, I do feel like I needed it. I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for the fighting and everything I've done the past 9, 10 years. So I believe everything we do in life shapes us to the person we are now. I learned so much about myself and that I can basically overcome anything. Because there's been so many, bumps in the road and setbacks, and it's been a really hard journey. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I think the biggest lessons are how strong I actually am and I can overcome anything. Yeah.
I see that you, travel a lot around and meet exciting people like Wei
Mm,
Li and Alexander Volkanovski, Yoel
mm,
Romero, Valentina Shevchenko, and even The Rock, yeah. And special about those
mm.
fighters, yeah. How is it to be
Yeah.
around those fighters? How are they as a human being to be around?
Um, I don't think I met anyone that's been, you know, nasty people. I don't think I met any fighters that have been, you know, yeah, awful human beings. I feel like everyone in general is very nice in the whole fight community. A lot of the time, like you watch TV and you watch MMA and you think all of these fighters are just arrogant and nasty and aggressive, and they wouldn't speak to you, and no, like they're all so friendly. And when I met Wei Li at Bang Tao, she was just the sweetest human being, and she's been one of my favorite fighters for many years. So it was super cool to be around her and watch her train and chat with her. Mm.
Sounds great and very exciting, yeah. So they
Mm.
usually very humble and great people, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like even certain fighters, I'm not sure if I should mention names, but even certain fighters that are very known to be the bad guys. You only see
Mm.
that one side of them on TV. But like even when you meet them in person, they're actually quite nice. So I know some of the fighters they put on a little bit of an act because it's a part of it. It's entertaining,
Mm.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, good for business, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and it
Should
works
be.
for some. It works for some. Personally, I don't think I could step into a completely different role, like something I wouldn't want to be identified as. So, you know, but that might just be me.
Yeah. It's good to
Mm.
be. I think people have to be themselves, yeah. If they play someone they are not, maybe it's not good, yeah.
Yeah, if it turns out being super fake in the end, then it's not good. Then it's not entertaining anymore because everyone knows that you're just faking it anyway.
Yeah. So Thailand,
Mm.
yeah, amazing country. I did live in Thailand from 2007 to 2013. Yeah, 6 years I
Oh,
live over there.
really?
It was
Wow, that's a
great
long
place.
time.
I live in Pattaya, yeah, the party place.
But
So that,
how was
yeah,
that?
it
Party.
was very fun. Yeah, a lot of party. And after I moved home, yeah, I did
Mm.
have a daughter. Yeah, she is half Thai and half Norwegian. Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, so in
Oh.
2013 we did move back to Norway, but
Mm.
we miss Thailand every day, and our goal is to in 3.5 more year, hopefully we'll move
Yeah.
back to Thailand again. Yeah,
Oh, amazing. I love
yeah,
Thailand. I love
amazing
Thailand so
country. Yeah,
much. Yeah.
yeah, great people, good food, and amazing weather,
Mhm.
and I think
Yeah.
most one of the best places on the earth have to be.
100%. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's definitely one of my favorite countries. That's why I keep going back.
Oh, I understand.
So yeah, I ended up in Bali because I actually got kicked out of Thailand. I haven't told
Hey.
that story too many times. But yeah, because I was in Thailand from 2016 till like mid 2019, and I had like a proper visa and everything under control. But I was actually meant to go to America in 2019, so it's been one of my goals and dreams since then. So I was meant to go to America, so I didn't renew my visa. So I ended up going in and out on the tourist visa. one too many times. So they basically kicked me out on the day. I went on a visa run. I just went with a backpack. Like I had my passport and my toothbrush, and yeah, what you need for one night away. When I tried to get back into Thailand, they wouldn't let me. So I got shipped back to Malaysia, where I came from. That's my visa run. And I was just stood there in the airport, empty pockets, couldn't afford a ticket back to Norway, or I wasn't allowed back in Thailand. So I didn't really know what to do with myself. I had been to Bali once the year before, just for like a week. So I knew the training was good. I knew the lifestyle was like kind of the same as Thailand. So I ended up just booking a flight to Bali and yeah, knocked on the gym's door. It's like, hey, can I hang out with you guys? So yeah, that's how I ended up in Bali. I moved here with nothing, lost all my stuff. Yeah, all my stuff in Thailand was gone. Basically everything I owned. Yeah, started a new life with nothing. Just my toothbrush and my passport. So yeah, been a journey.
It's been quite a journey, and you have some amazing stories. I remember when we were sitting in the fitness street in Phuket as well, and you come up with just story after story, and I think, wow, it has been one of a ride.
Yeah, yeah. I do have a lot of stories now, which yeah, some other friends as well. When I spoke to like one of my really close friends. We got to know each other just a few months ago, but we got close pretty fast. And she was the same. She was like, my God, you need to write a book.
Yeah.
Like, it's just insane. So yeah, yeah. Maybe one day I'll do. Yeah.
But can you take us back to when you were growing up, the story of Maiken? How were you growing up, and how did this desire grow upon you?
Wow, how was I? Yeah, I grew up in the countryside of Tromsø in Norway, up north. Very, I would say, active child, but at the same time, I like to just, sit and paint, and I was very happy to play by myself for hours, and probably a little strange, strange child. But I didn't need friends. I had friends, but like I could play alone as well. Like, um, but yeah, I started doing rhythmic sports gymnastics. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I started training like pretty young. So I started training that. It's like a mix of dance, gymnastics, and ballet. So I did that for I think 5 years. From I was six years old. Decided to stop doing that when they hired a Russian trainer or Ukrainian trainer because she was so strict. We were not used to it. We were just kids. So it just ended up being a bit too serious for me at the time. Stopped doing that, and then I decided to do kickboxing when I was 12. That's when everything started. I also like to do a lot of like motorsport. Like my brother and my dad, they used to drive car cross. So I used to drive like the motorbikes, the dirt bikes. I was the only girl doing that. So it was always fun, like when everyone was driving and like at the end, when everyone finished driving, we took off our helmets and everyone was boys. And then I took my helmet off and everyone was like, what? It's a girl. Yeah. Yes, she's a girl. But yeah, kickboxing. I started kickboxing when I was 12, and that was super random. My cousin wanted to try it out. She was one of those that tried, she tried everything. And she tried it for like 2, 3 months and then she was over it. Um, so she wanted to try kickboxing. She asked me if I wanted to join. I did. She ended up leaving after a few months, and I kept going because I thought it was fun. Um, did a few competitions every now and then, but I stopped training actually a few times. But every time I stopped doing kickboxing, it was something missing. I was going to the gym and like doing these other like type of training, but it was just something missing. So I always ended up going back to it. Like if I was living in Tromsø, and I also lived in Drøbak, like more like outside of Oslo. So I started training in Ski, and I started teaching a bit. And yeah, wherever I was, I just kept going back to kickboxing because yeah, I just love it. Mm.
So it sounds like you found a lot of purpose in the fighting, that it just was needed in a way. And do you know what that comes from?
Um, 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 I don't know. You just feel, for me, like it makes me feel accomplished in some way. Um, it made me, gain confidence. It helped me find myself, who I am, and yeah, it was a hard question. Hard question, but for some reason it was needed.
Yeah, but I think it's a very true answer, and sometimes we don't know the core of it. But last week we had an interview with Elmin Sivic that was released 1 week ago, and he is an awesome fighter. He also fought bare-knuckle, kickboxing, boxing, everything, like a world champion class fighter. He was my coach up in Trondheim, and he said the same thing. Like, he just needs fighting, he needs training. It built a lot of confidence. It built so much great mindset and developed him as a person. And we were also talking about how I feel like it is like entering the ring is like entering a place with so many mirrors all around you.
Yeah.
You just see all of your flaws, all of your insecurities, the mistakes that you need to correct until the next fight, because someone is also studying you, your future opponent. So it is just a very honest sport, and it makes you have to work on your personal development and mindset.
100%. 100%. Yeah, for some reason, I need it. I need it in my life. If I don't have it, it's something missing. So it's been such a big part of my life for so many years now, and it will be until the day I die. Ah,
So
but
oh, sorry, Maiken.
no, just gonna say, like, even after I finish fighting, I'm sure I'll do something within fighting, for the future generations, or I'll definitely do something. I'll never leave the sport.
So what do you do for relax your mind when you're very tired and you just want to relax? And how do you relax?
I, to be honest, I just sit in silence. Sit in silence. I love going to the beach, and stare at the ocean, and try to not think too much. I feel like we often have a habit of overthinking things. If there's problems to fix, we overthink them instead of, relaxing our minds. So, yeah, obviously I do saunas and ice baths and all of that stuff as well, that most athletes do. But you know, I grew up with a mom that was very much like me, or maybe you can say that I'm very much like her. We like we like to spend time alone, and we like to spend time in silence, and we need that. That's how we recharge. So some people, they get energy of being around people, being with people, socialize and stuff like that. I'm the opposite. For me to be able to do that and have energy for that, I need to spend some time alone to recharge and relax. So I love being with people. I'm very sociable as well, but I just need my alone time every now and then, so I can be social with people and function.
Yeah, I understand. I'm totally the
Mm,
same too. I also, if I stay around a lot of people, I get drained. Yeah, so I have to relax to
yeah,
myself a lot to charge energy, and then I'm ready to go.
yeah, yeah. It's the same with me. Like I need to charge my batteries um alone before I can
Yeah.
socialize, and then I
Yeah.
can be, chatty Maiken and
Mm.
you know me,
Yeah.
and not just having a drain battery, not talk to anyone. Yeah.
Can you take us through how your emotions are leading up to a fight? Are you nervous? Are you worried? Or are you emotional?
Um, um, yeah, I've been through, I think all of the emotions before my fights. Um, like I still get nervous before fights, but in a different kind of way than before. Like before, I was absolutely shitting myself. Um, but now it's more like I'm more excited. So actually, I was working with this sports psychologist for a little while, and he said, uh, whenever you're nervous and like scared, nervous of doing something, try to um, take that away and be excited instead. Like instead of being nervous, you can transform those feelings into being excited instead. So that's been working really well for me actually. So now I'm trying to be more excited than nervous. But I don't feel like, because a lot of people, especially if they're not fighters, they're like, oh, you need to be angry, aggressive before you fight because, it's violence and blah, blah, blah. But I cannot be angry and aggressive before I fight. I need to be calm. I need to, you know, yeah, I just need to be relaxed before I fight. If I'm angry, I get sad, and if I'm sad, I'm gonna cry, and you don't want to cry before you fight. So, so yeah, no, being angry doesn't work for me. Mm. Mm.
And it's a great realization. We get to know ourselves better throughout this journey, and both
Mm.
on in the career, but also on the personal level, because it is so honest, and how you are, how your mindset is, it is all revealed in the ring of a fight. So it is
Mm.
great lessons.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I've heard previously, like from my opponents, that that they've been freaked out because I look so calm and I'm
Mhm.
smiling and I'm just looking at them and smiling and then like punch him in the face and I just keep smiling because I'm just so happy to be there. So, but yeah, for sure, it really reveals a lot.
Mhm.
Mm,
Definitely.
So after your career in the future, where you
mm.
think you're gonna live in the world, and what you think you're gonna work about when your career is finished?
Um, so I actually had this conversation with my mom today, uh, because obviously my family would like to get me home to Norway. But to be honest with you, I'm not sure where I'll end up living. My boyfriend is from England. He's half South African and half English. So he also likes to, be in this kind of environment, this climate. Like now we're in Bali. We love it here. So we might end up living in a tropical country. Um, and what am I doing in the future when it comes to work? I'm still not sure. Honestly, I'm still not sure because I'm focusing on my fight career right now, and I'll see where it takes me. Because I really think that I'll know. I'll know when the time is right. I think fighting is going to take me somewhere, and that's where I'm meant to be, and that's what I'm meant to do. So, yeah, I think
Definitely.
I think too many people plan too much. It's good to have plans. It's good to, have goals, plans, ambitions, all of these future things. But some people plan their lives a bit too much, and normally never ends up being like that anyway. So right now I'm just enjoying the moment and, take one day at a time. I know what I want to do this year, and that's enough for me right now.
And I think
So
you're saying the exactly right thing.
Yeah, I'll do something within fighting for sure. Like as I said before, I'll never leave the sport, but I haven't really figured out what that's going to be just yet. We'll see.
And as you mentioned, the right doors will open. I think you're doing the right thing. And that's something I told Joachim about when I called him and we talked about you, inviting you to our podcast. And I said that you're just the kind of person that you are a star. You are illuminating. You do the right thing. You go out there and hustle. And then I know that doors open for you, the right doors. I know that a sponsor came up to you on the street and was like, hey, I want to sponsor you. Go into my team. And with a job offer, it happened the same. And also when you were sponsored at Tiger, people tipped off the team, as I've understood it. And this kind of thing happens for the right reason, because you are this person, very genuinely, very wholesome. And then the things around you work on your team as well, so the right doors will open for sure.
Yeah, I think so as well. You just need to have your eyes open as well and be open for it. So,
definitely. Is there anything that has taught you a lot about life, a life lesson or a quote that kind of sticks to you after the journey you've been on?
Well, I think what I learned is, things don't always go after plan. So, I've been in some really shitty situations. I don't talk about the bad stuff too much, but there's been a lot of bad things on this journey as well. It's not just been, sunshine and rainbows. It's been hard. But I believe in every single bad situation, something good will come out of it. You just need to look for the good. If you choose to see only the bad, you're only gonna only bad things are gonna happen because that's what you have in mind. But if you look for the good in the bad, or the good that's gonna come after the bad, I think that's the key, because that's the reason I'm here right now. I would have, gone back to Norway a long time ago if I was thinking differently, for sure.
Is there something more you would like to say, Maiken, that we haven't asked you about yet?
Be not as I can think of. So Yeah, no, not
Okay.
really, not right now. I think I feel like I've said quite a lot. Is there anything else you would like to add or ask?
I'm just wondering, how is the situation now? I know you just fought in Bali with Bang Tao in your corner, and now you're still in Bali together with your
Yes.
boyfriend. How is the next few weeks gonna look? Where are you stationed?
Yes. So, I went back to Thailand, right? To Bang Tao with the same team that I started with in Thailand in 2016. Because back then, all of my coaches, they were at Tiger, but they started a new gym in Bang Tao. So I decided I wanted to go back and train with them. So that's what I did last year. Stayed with them for about 9, 10 months. Worked for this fight. Came here to Bali, fought with Bang Tao in my corner. My boyfriend already moved here 2 weeks prior to that. He's working here. We live right next to the gym he's working at. So he's working here, and I'll be stationed here. Like this will be my base, but I'll still go to Thailand and Bang Tao for all my fight camps. So I'm still going to be on Team Bang Tao, and I just love the training there. I get everything I need. Um, yeah, when it comes to coaching, training partners, like the level there is just very, very high, and yeah, so that's my plan. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna train here in Bali, and yeah, go to Bang Tao for my fight camps. Mm. So,
That
and hopefully we
sounds.
get a new fight soon. Yeah.
Hopefully, we will be sharing for you all the way. We're paying closely attention to your career, and it's so awesome to see that you go 101% for everything that you want, to have the life that you
Yes.
want, and to achieve the things that you want within your career. So that is truly inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
So where can people find you in social media?
I'm mostly active on Instagram. So yeah, on Magic Maiken, Magic with a K, not a C. So it's
Okay.
not a misspelling, it's meant to be like that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put your Instagram profile down in our show note.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? Sponsors or team or?
I would definitely like to give a shout out to Bang Tao for, you know, helping me so much. Um, yeah, like in and out of fight camp. I know like all the coaches for many years already, so it was so good to uh, get back to the team. I went there last year. Um, Obviously, my friends and family and my boyfriend, they, you know, been my biggest support since day one. They know the whole journey, like all the ups and downs, and they always been there. Um, And also, as you mentioned, we met at Soma Fight Club. Yeah.
Right.
So when I'm here in Bali, I'll go there for some of my training. Even if I've been away, like I've been in America, I've been in Thailand, and like they still have my back. So when I had my weigh-ins, um, now for this fight I had a week and a half ago, like they came and gave me like drinks and food and everything. We used the gym. I came with Bang Tao team to Soma to do my training and weight cut and everything. So, it's such a good feeling to have, still have that family. So, yeah, shout out to them as well. Mm.
Well, thank you, Maiken, for such a nice conversation. You have a spark
Thank
inside
you.
of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely.
Very
It's so
great
much
to
fun.
have you here. You're absolutely
Thank you.
a 1%er, and it's very inspiring to hear what you say. And thank you for get the opportunity to know you better.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you for that. This episode was recorded February 5th, 2025. Link to where to find Maiken on social media is in our show notes below. There you will also find the link to our homepage, the 101percentpodcast.com, where you can subscribe to our free weekly newsletter, donate to our podcast, and all the information you need. Please like and share this episode with your friend. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram on this podcast account, the 101% podcast. If you like this episode, make sure to share this podcast episode with a friend and review the show on Apple Podcast. Thank you to all the audience for listening. We appreciate you all a lot. Hope that you will come back and listen to our next episode. Until next time, take care and give it your best.